Hey guys, Alex here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we will be talking about something that is an intrinsic part of selling a property, the authority to sell. So we will be breaking down what is an authority to sell, what is the difference between an exclusive and non-exclusive authority to sell, and why is it important. So first, what is an authority to sell? It is a document from sellers authorizing real estate brokers or realties to represent them in marketing and selling their property. So this is a listing agreement. It's a listing contract between a broker and the seller, wherein the broker is tasked to represent the seller in securing a buyer for the property. So all the details of the property, such as the floor, lot area, selling price, should be listed in the authority to sell. So an ATS is a requirement by PRC for us brokers or agents to market a property. So we cannot just randomly post listings without the owner's permission or the listing broker's permission online. So there are two types of authorities to sell. First is we have the exclusive ATS. Second is the non-exclusive ATS. So an exclusive ATS is only given to one broker or firm or with his co-listing broker. And that broker is the only one allowed to represent, market, and negotiate in your behalf as the seller. So it's usually given for a shorter period of time, between 30 to 90 days. So with an exclusive ATS, the broker will get a professional fee no matter who sells the property, even if it's the owner who sells the property, since usually that's the term of an exclusive ATS. So in a non-exclusive authority, your property is open to all brokers to list, market, and negotiate, but it's only open to the brokers that you list the properties with. So what are the pros and cons? So for the exclusive ATS, the pros are it frees the owner from a lot of stress since you only have to deal with one broker. Other brokers or realties can still help in selling your property, that they will all have to go through your broker, so that if an offer comes, your broker will be the one to negotiate on your behalf. Second, another pro is that the broker will be more motivated to focus on selling your property since the timeline is shorter, usually about 30 to 90 days. So if the timeline has lapsed and the property isn't sold, you can either choose to renew the listing with your broker or go with another broker to represent you. The cons of an exclusive ATS is you're just limited to one broker. So if your broker doesn't spend time and energy to market the listing, then it probably will not sell. So before listing your property with a broker, you have to make sure to check how committed and competitive your broker is in their industry. So as a rule of thumb, it's best to go with a full-time real estate broker. Check their track record, how fast they sell their listings, and what their marketing strategies are. So generally, full-time brokers pour most of their time and energy into marketing their listings, and they will probably get your property sold faster. So next is non-exclusive ATS. What are the pros? So you can list your property with as many brokers as you want. But the cons are, you will need to spend more time and energy in dealing with multiple agents. And also, you cannot pressure the listing brokers to sell your property since it's a non-exclusive ATS, which doesn't also have a time limit. So why is an ATS important? An authority to sell is important because it formalizes an agreement between the seller and the broker regarding the property that the seller wants to dispose. Now, what if the seller does not want to give an ATS? Because there are actually sellers like this. So I have listed dozens and dozens of properties over the years that I've been in this industry, and most of my clients have no problem with signing an authority to sell. Now, I have come across one or two sellers who did not want to sign an ATS for one reason or another, and most of the time, the ending was not good. So there was a time when a colleague of mine listed a 4 million property, and the seller did not want to sign an ATS, but promised to pay the full commission in the event that it would get sold by my partner. So sure enough, she sold the listing, but the seller did not keep his word, but only gave her 30,000 in commission instead of the standard 5%, which was 200,000. So if the seller does not want to sign a basic document like an authority to sell, then they probably will not give the full broker's fee, if at all. So although we do have other clients who does not sign ATS, but they still follow through on giving the full commissions. But the bottom line is that it's up to you as the broker. If you want to take the risk of marketing a property without an ATS, then by all means. But from my perspective, I wouldn't advise you to do so. It's always best to have your agreement with your client in black and white, just so the responsibilities and commitments are clear to both parties involved. Besides, as licensed real estate brokers, we are professionals, so we need to follow the right process of doing things. Sometimes, the reason why sellers don't sign an authority to sell is because it's not properly explained to them. As long as we can explain to them properly what the purpose of an ATS is and why it's important, then there really is no reason why they won't sign. After all, we have the same goal, which is to sell the property as fast as possible. So now, what does an authority to sell look like? So let me share with you what our authority to sell looks like. Okay, so this is what our authority to sell looks like. As you can see, the document that's on my screen. So this is what I ask my sellers to sign. So as you can see here, you can see the name of our realty, you can see my name, and there's a check mark there on sell or lease. So sometimes if the property is for lease, then I just check the lease. If it's for sale, and then check sell. So it's here that the purpose of this authority to sell is to market the property both online and offline, to screen prospective clients and bring buyers to the property, and to facilitate the preparation of the documents for the sale or lease of the property. So it's the lawyer, it's actually the attorney who actually prepares the documents, but I am the person who facilitates the whole process. So I'll be the one to get in contact with the attorney, to give them the documents of the clients so that he can prepare them. And then the professional fee, standard professional fee is 5% of whatever is the sold price. For the lease, it's 1 month's rent for every year, or 10% of the whole amount if less than a year. So it's also here that there are two options if it's non-exclusive or exclusive, because some of our clients prefer an exclusive ATS because they don't like dealing with a lot of brokers. But for those who want non-exclusive ATS, then that's also okay. So in the description, there are also boxes that I usually ask the seller to fill up. So the location of the property, the block and lot, what the floor area, the lot area is, title number, selling price, and then it's also here the name of owner, and then they can sign here. And then below, these are the taxes that are payable. So I also go through this with the seller just so they know what taxes need to be paid. And then after that, after the table that you can see with the taxes, below that is more details for the property. So I fill this up so that when I'm making my video or presentation of the property, then I already have all the details that I need. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope you now understand the importance of an authority to sell. And as always, I will see you in my next video. Bye!